good evening, our dear viewers from MBC Studios. This is Lana Abadi again with you.
And Sleepy is here. And as always, we're starting our episode with the briefing news with Bassam.
And we're going to talk about the removal of the exhibition, Palestinian exhibition, in the World Forum.
Yeah, and we're talking about the Red Carpet Festival for the year 2019.
And we're going to orange the world from MBC Studios, but let's see the briefing news with Bassam first.
Thank you, Lana and Uwais. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates condemned in the strongest terms the visit by a number of anti-Palestinian members of parliament to illegal Israeli settlements in the occupied state of Palestine, organized by the Israeli Allies Foundation. This visit will celebrate and seemingly legitimize the presence of illegal settlers while whitewashing Israel's systematic denial of the Palestinian people inalienable right of self-determination, said a statement issued by the ministry. Ahmad Zahran, a Palestinian administrative detainee held in Israeli jails who has been on hunger strike for 78 consecutive days in protest against his incarceration without charge or trial, is in serious health condition and has been admitted to an Israeli hospital, said the Palestinian Prisoners Society. Zahran, 42, a father of 4 children from Ramallah, was detained last March and slammed with administrative detention, where he was held in prison without charge or trial and based on secret evidence not available even to his lawyer. Israel occupation forces detained 9 Palestinians, including a journalist from various parts of the occupied West Bank, said the Palestinian Prisoners Society. Luxembourg Foreign Minister Jean Asselborn urged last week his European Union counterparts to recognize a Palestinian state in the West Bank and Gaza Strip in response to the U.S. administration's support for the illegal Israeli settlements in the occupied Palestinian territories. A general strike was observed in the occupied southern West Bank city of Hebron in protest against Israeli settlement plans in the occupied section of the Palestinian city, according to local sources. These are the news for today. Thank you for watching.
Of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates condemned in the strongest terms the removal of art exhibition that was held by the Palestinian, the State of Palestine and the Palestinian Human Rights Organization called Al-Haq.
Yes, and this exhibition hosted the work of the international cartoonist Mohammed Sabane.
Yes, as you see, like in the news, any issue or any activity against the Israeli occupation forces, they, without authorization, they cancel it.
For more information, let's take a look at this video.
Hello again, and also we were talking about Mohammed Sabane and the removal of the exhibition, Palestinian exhibition.
And his artwork, yeah.
Like this is against the Palestinians and against the right for Palestinians to explain or express themselves.
Yeah,
in
to
the
talk
world.
about this more, Bassam is here with us in the studio. So Bassam, like, have you watched the report, and like, what are your comments on it?
Well, Mohammed Sabane is doing a really good job in his documentary work to show the Palestinian narrative and what they're going throughout the years. The occupation has been going on for just about 100 years now, maybe less, but
A lot less,
A lot,
but yeah.
not a lot less. No, no. We have been suffering since before World War I. The occupation was announced after World War I. So let's say it's about 100 years of occupation before, even before the Israelis. There's the British occupation. There's lots of occupation that Palestinians actually went through. But he did a very good job in showing the Palestinian narration through his documentaries. He went globally, actually. People watched them, and I'm proud to see a well-active
Yeah,
citizen.
but like he couldn't show his exhibition, and that's the problem for Palestinians. There's a lot of activities they can't participate in.
Of course, he can't show. It's actually very much natural. But like, imagine this: journalists in Palestine, within Jerusalem specifically, they have been detained recently, released as well, but they have been detained for just doing their job as journalists.
This is the same thing that happened with Palestine TV and the journalists and reporters of Palestine TV.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I'm talking about the reporters that were detained with the whole team, the cameraman, the producer, and the
For example,
presenter, Christine Rinawi.
Rinawi,
She's
yes.
quite famous actually, and she's been detained and released. And imagine the relationship between Mohammed Sabani, of his being not able to show his exhibition, and these presenters of journalism.
Yeah, they were
always
too
want
trying to
mute,
show
yes, to
to
mute
show their
Palestinians
ideas.
and the voice of Palestinians.
Exactly.
And so, okay, so basically, like the threat against journalists is actually a bit serious here, because like
Can't get more serious than this, honestly.
Like the problem also, they can't, like the reporters and journalists that they were arrested, now they can't talk to each other for 15 days. And if they break this rule, they will pay 2,000 shekels for each day they talk to each
Yeah,
other.
imagine not
like,
us.
this is crazy, come on,
It's like
guys.
us three not talking to each other, and if we do talk each other, we get paid 2,000 shekel. Imagine 2,000 shekel paying just to get in contact with your friend.
Yes,
Yeah.
this
Or
is
your
really
colleague.
bad. And so let's see this report for more information.
Today, journalists around Palestine, ladies and gentlemen, are united to raise the voice for journalists because the rights of journalism has been detained enormously these past few years, where a media office followed and registered to Palestine TV was shut down by the Israeli occupation, followed by the detainment of the Israeli occupation, of the Palestinian team that works in the media office, as well as, and they were released later on the day, but this was 15 days later on. These 15 days, they are not allowed to speak or interact with each other, or else they will pay a 2,000 shekel fine, and that is a complete violation of Palestinian and journalism rights. So stay tuned today. We are united together as journalism.
فلسطين في القدس هذا المكتب وهؤلاء الأبطال المناضلين.
أعتقد بأن الحماية الدولية
I think that the international law for journalist protection is a right line to cross, but the Israeli occupation crosses all international law against this country, and they have no limit in what they can do to a journalist in terms of detainment, injury, or killing. But international law should be able to protect the journalist, but there is no monitoring on the Israeli actions against these journalists when it comes to actions happening on Palestinian land. The Israeli democracy is only followed in the Israeli community. When it comes to Palestinians, they are treated underly, and so we Palestinians are treated as an occupied state. And it tries to silence the Palestinian voice either by media or by field. Secondly, they treat us in a way to erase all the Palestinian case and try to send the Palestinians a message that they can silence us, but we say as journalists we can never be silenced as journalists as long as we breathe.
يسعى لإظهار الحقيقة.
وفعاليات محافظة نابلس من قبل هذا الاحتلال.
Palestinian journalists all the time under the pressure of Israeli attacks, under the pressure of Israeli pushing them under the Israeli government, soldiers all the time against the Palestinian journalists, because they comparing or making the Palestinian journalists look like the any people of Palestinian under the occupation. This is the Israeli propaganda to show the Palestinian, all the Palestinian journalists look like
They're a terror or the bad enemy or yep.
The Red Carpet Festival is being held in its 5th edition. in Ramallah. So have you participated in any of its events? You know,
Not quite. Today's the last day for the exhibition, actually, for the film festival. And it was held on from November 15th till
today,
till today.
10th of
just about
December.
that much. And it's very interesting. Do you know
they
what?
started with the Gaza film, which is a very famous film. And with the conjunction, like the screening in Ramallah was with the conjunction in the screening with Gaza City. And the film is about Gaza, and it won the award of Belfast, which is really great to hear that.
Yeah, for more details, let's take a look at this video.
A newly launched Together Against Violence campaign is organized recently, and it's about the violence that women face. It's a basis about
It's also like gender-based violence and like so many kinds of violence in the world. It's not only about women.
It's not just about women, but any kind of violence or gender-based violence that is goes either way. And the UNESCO is organized it as well.
Yes, it's a joint campaign from Palestine, and it was for 16 days, and today is the last day of this campaign. So
And
it's
it
like
took
a festival
place-
or ceremony for this campaign, yes.
And it took place like in Gaza, in West Bank, and even in East Jerusalem.
And one of the most I heard that who's going to be joining or did join is the Dam. You know, the Dam. What do you call it? The
Yes, band, yes.
It's a
Yeah.
Palestinian band that fights the occupation through art and
Rap.
you'd say poem and rap.
I think they're going to, or they performed actually, plays and dances and also some kind of music to show the violence in the world.
Our media center covered this campaign recently, and we would like to share some of the events that went on.
Hello MBC World, it's Lana again with you. I'm here from Turkey bin Abdulaziz Theatre at An-Najah National University. Today is the 16th day of the campaign Gender-Based Violence. And from MBC Journal, we're trying and we're helping in arranging the world. So let's go inside to see these activities.
I'm working currently in Palestine with the UPOL COPS, and I'm working with the Family Protection and Juvenile Units. So this campaign has been very important because we're trying to make awareness against violence so that people will know that it's not a good thing, that there is help, and we want people to know in Palestine how to get that help.
عايشين ورا سجون البنود اللي سجنين لنا ما يتغير مش حزين ولا نور الاسياج بنا احنا شايفين سما لونه ازرق غيمه ابيض بالنص نجمات ذكراك انت مخير انا الصامد عايش متفائل ما بتعزل من الامل بيجي ضعف فاصل.
I have to say it was really amazing. The crowd was so hyped and it was showing so much love and we really enjoyed it. It means a lot to us, of course, to be here and to be a part of a program like this. And and to be able to perform in Nablus in general. I think what a lot of people miss as well, that this struggle and this thing that we're talking about women's rights, it's not about women or men. It's about both together. It's about human rights. And I think every person that believes in human rights cannot fight for one cause and not the other. So human rights, children's rights, women's rights, black people's rights, Arab rights, the same struggle. And we need to be in it together. مسحت الدموع أدمع عيونها تفتح مداها السياج الممنوع قلتها ممنوع إلك ممنوع إلها مسموح إلك ممنوع إلها والمسموح إلها فيش كلمة هيك في قاموسها توقفك ع إجريك اللي تدوس حقوقها.
UNESCO believes that women and girls must live free of fear and violence. This is our commitment and our pledge today. The main target of this year's campaign is youth, because we believe in youth power to lead and change towards a society free of all form of violence and discrimination against women and girls. We must break the silence and speak up.
Hello again. As we were talking about the campaign of 16 days of activism in gender-based violence, we have a great guest for today. She's from An-Najah National University. She's a strong lady. And let's introduce together Mrs. Fatan Abu Zarur. Hello and welcome here.
We're so glad to be here with you. Could you please start with introducing yourself to our audience?
Okay, thank you for the introducing. My name is Fatan Abu Zarur. I'm a psychosocial counselor at Student Deanship Affairs. As well, I'm teaching social work courses through social work department at Faculty of Economic and Social Studies. Besides, I'm activist woman in women issue. I'm co-founder for Irada Movement, Palestinian Women Coalition for Peace and Justice.
Wow, your CV is already out there for women empowerment.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Because we, you know, after you be, this age of fighting, struggling against the occupation, firstly, and second, to change the social world that we are living in, the social society that we are living in.
Yes, of course, like all Palestinian women
it's
love
obligatory,
her, and especially the young.
Like she could be a role model. She's a role model. I'm guessing you're a role model to most of the Palestinian women.
Inshallah, I'm considering myself as a person who's looking for being living in a society with democratic civil
harmony,
society.
democracy, and
Fatan, I want to ask you about the campaign in specific.
Yeah.
You know that this campaign is against women, against the violence against women.
Gender-based violence.
Exactly.
Against women.
And all kinds of violence as well.
For sure.
So, like my question here, you know that so many people in a lot of communities, they are in a denial state of mind of even like this kind of violence exists. So have you taken any specific procedures to communicate or to let this, let's say, those people in specific to see like the real situation
or in other words, let's talk about the importance of this campaign for the Palestinian society.
Well, let's correct the information for the viewers. I mean, it's not anytime we can say it's not exist the violence against women. It's a phenomenon now. We talk about a phenomenon. So we can't deny it. We can't put our head in the sand and say we are okay. No, we are not okay. And women issues, especially this campaign, surely, is a global issue. It's not related to one society, to one culture, to one religion, to one ethnic groups. No, it's a global issue. And it's happened wherever in the world, even through classes, through religion, through education levels, in any way we can find it. So basically in Palestine, as well as we are a community or a society within this world societies, so we consider that the situation of the woman, it's not okay also. So we believe that we can change it. We can change this situation because it's, as returning to your question, why it is important, because يعني get tired from being unseeing. يعني we get يعني fed up. It's fed up that we can't fulfill the justice, freedom, equality. That's all we
yes,
asking
we are
for.
fed up and we need our voice to be heard.
For
yeah,
sure.
and
Your
one more
voice to be
thing.
heard.
The
Our
woman
I'm
voice.
waiting here.
Look, if the woman is relief, if the woman is happy, the whole society is happy. If the woman live in a miserable, the whole family, societies, organization, whatever, will be
It's very
miserable.
sure, like, because like it's reflected in the family as well. If
Yeah.
the mother is really happy and she's comfortable with everything she's
Surely.
doing, all the children are happy and they do whatever they want.
I think it's the woman is the backbone of the family, and it's the backbone supports the entire body.
Yeah, to extend, yes, but it's not a battle between men and women, you know.
Exactly. Yes.
It's a battle for humanity. Okay, because of that, women in all states, in all international percentages, women considered half of the society, half of the population. So if this half of the population feel insecure, unfree, injustice, so the society itself will be unproductive society, you know.
Unproductive, yes.
Yeah, and there's like one important role of this campaign that it actually teaches females about and introduce females
Not
to
only
their own
females,
rights.
anyway.
Yeah, so sometimes in some families, like they don't even know about their own rights, and you know, it's kind of it takes to explore around you and to know.
I agree with you. Not only do not know their rights, but also sometimes they do not define the violence as a violence. You know, it's a big issue for us.
Could you elaborate on
yeah,
this
it's
more?
like tradition. It's okay if my husband beat me or my brother
So what you're trying to say
humiliating
is
me.
what you're trying to say is things became normal and okay
Exactly.
just because they happen
Like
through
you take it
culture,
for
even though
granted
it's
that
not
this is-
even though it's not normal. Like it's not okay,
It
but
should be refused.
it just got adapted and fit in the
Exactly.
society.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like dominance became normal.
Yeah, exactly. So
this is why
we
maybe-
try to
yes.
to be aware to raise awareness about this normalization. It's not good to be beaten or hear some let's say alqab.
Yeah, verbal
Yeah.
violence.
See? So it's not good for any human being to be neglected or beaten or abused or any kind of violence.
So this campaign, like you started from the first step that you prevented the family, like it's about the family protection bills.
Well-
And you started from the family as the first step to continue with this campaign.
As you know, this is a yearly campaign, okay? And each year we have a theme. We have an issue to concentrate on. For example, this year, our concentration is on protection law, family protection
Yes.
law, because we consider that if we have, as a Palestinian, have a good family protection law, so we might reduce, not end the violence, but at least we will reduce it, because let's take a view on all over the world. All the world, all the states has a law. Okay?
What are the laws that we can change?
Yes.
But
Good
these
question.
states who has a law, did they have an end for the violence? No, within the law, but the percentage is it's more less than ours. So the difference between the society is the percentage, whether it's high or it's less. So we hope that we will find the solution through law. Law is one aspect for the solution, but not all the solutions.
Lots of things
So
to
can
consider.
the organizations here in Palestine help more now, for the voices of the kids, maybe the children, the families, the gender-based like women and men, maybe their voice can be heard anymore with these organizations, or it's very hard.
Yeah, it's very
Like you
hard.
can't cover everything.
When we are talking about change in women issue, it means that we are asking for change, social change. And social change sometimes, or in different cases, we find that there is who can agree with you, and those who disagree with you, okay? So it's not an easy process, it's not an easy action, but we still believe that we can do it, and we insist to do it. But to change the law is one aspect, but first of all, we have the culture heritage that raising up the children inside the house should be changed also. We should find a way how to create a democratic family, a democratic relationship within the family. Yeah, for sure. And then let's talk about the school curriculum. Okay, this also needs to be changed, because this sometimes give a negative point of view towards the image of the woman in the curriculum.
The unconscious of the children.
Yeah,
they started to build it in this
for
way.
sure. So if we change the way we raising up our children, if we change the school curriculum, if we change the relationship between men and women from the childhood, early childhood, let's say stage, so we might assist for a democratic society. What do I mean by a democratic? Which means that we have like equal justice, free, and every person has and his own space to express himself, express his ideas, express his opinion freely, without anyone to ask him to judge him or to punish him because of his opinion. So we hope that we will find.
So one last question: if we were talking about women and the organizations that you are you have a voice in, so do you do some workshops for men as well, or for young men to go and yes, because if you change the if you change the men also, like the stereotype or how they think of women, it's a good idea, because they like work together and they grow together.
Good question. And always we are aware of this dilemma that we the organization, the women organization, when we are talking about with the woman only about her rights, about what to do to stop violence, sometimes we're dealing with her issue in a way from the family, from the system, from the whole system. This is not good for her, because when she's going back home, she can't raise her voice in front of her, let's say, husband, brother, men.
She learns something in the organization.
So she will become depressed because she can't
say
express what she learned, you know. So basically, we should work on the mentality of women and men as well, okay? Because of that, I said about the children in the childhood. If we work in the early age in the mentality, so I will produce a men and a woman who respect the other, who admit that the other have the right as well as me, okay? But if we keep working on the level of awareness, raising awareness for women, and not taking into consideration the men, so we'll make the gap wider and bigger. So yes, I agree with you. We should also targeting the men with our awareness campaign, with the social activities. From my experience, we have a lot of men who are also supporting and participating with us in different activities.
Obviously, this type of exchange, this type of change takes time. Before we end our episode, we would like to ask you about the orange color.
Yeah.
We know that for this year the theme is orange.
Since last year.
Yeah, since last year.
The United Nations suggests that the orange color, because they're asking for a world free of violence through this color. So inshallah we will reach to a world free of violence.
Thank you, Ms. Fatin, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
For more information, visit nn.ps or NBC Journal on Facebook.
And see you next Tuesday.